Recently, there has been a lot of discussion regarding the true state of the next Mass Effect game and when BioWare could realistically have this game released. I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I want to break down what has been leading to this mass speculation recently, so let's get right into it. Earlier this week, a post on the official Mass Effect Reddit gained a lot of attention regarding the development of the next Mass Effect game. This post that has already gained more than 1,000 upvotes is titled "Mark Dara confirms Mass Effect 5 isn't in true development yet." I'll have the post on screen in this video and link down below if you want to read through it yourself, but the post essentially goes over Mark Dara's breakdown of why AAA games are taking so long to develop in modern day, and kind of goes over the timeline of how the teams are focused and divided when making video games for studios that have multiple franchises, like BioWare for example. I will also leave Mark Dara's video linked down below. It's very interesting and goes into a lot of cool details regarding the gaming industry that I think a lot of people would find very enticing and cool. If you watch Mark Dara's video all the way through, you'll find that the title of this Reddit post is a little deceiving, as Mark Dara doesn't even mention Mass Effect specifically in his video, and definitely doesn't mention anything about the development state of Mass Effect or the release date of the next Mass Effect game. Dara does touch on the fact, however, that Dragon Age Veilguard only just had its official reveal and gameplay showcase in June of 2024, despite being announced all the way back in 2019. So reasonably so, I can see why many Mass Effect fans feel that Mass Effect is going to be put on the same elongated timeline that Dragon Age the Veilguard has been. Although we don't have an official title for the next Mass Effect game, technically it was officially revealed with a full story teaser trailer back in 2020. And then every year since then, on N7 Day, we have been getting teases of the next Mass Effect game, and even got another trailer this past N7 Day in 2023. So looking at the current context for the teases of the next Mass Effect game and the fact that we do have multiple trailers for the game at this point, take that with the information that Mark Dara gives when it comes to how the workload is divided between franchises. It's easy to think that the next Mass Effect game isn't in true development yet. Now, I do have my own thoughts of when I think the next Mass Effect game is going to be released, or at least when BioWare is going to try to release it, but we'll touch on that in just a second. It's no secret to anyone that the gap between Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age Veilguard was long, to say the least. It's almost exactly a decade. But during that time, BioWare was still pretty busy doing all sorts of things. In 2017, BioWare released another full-on RPG with Mass Effect Andromeda, and shortly after that, in 2019, they released Anthem. So during that time, they were really busy releasing two games really close to each other at that time in the next gen era. So it's safe to assume that after Andromeda and Anthem hit the shelves and they were done tying off those games is when the development for Dragon Age the Veilguard officially began, around that 2019 time. And then from there, BioWare went on another ambitious project of remastering the entire Mass Effect trilogy with Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So it's not like BioWare has just been sitting around this whole time in between Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age the Veilguard. They've had 3 full game releases in that time span, while also maintaining and updating and making new content for, up until recently, Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO that BioWare ran up until the end of 2023, when it now is being run by Broadsword Games. And if BioWare full steam ahead started development of Dragon Age the Veilguard in 2019, well, it's a little bit of unfortunate timing, as shortly after that, the entire world got hit with a global pandemic, which certainly set them back probably significantly. So what does all of this mean for the next Mass Effect game? I think it's very fair and safe to assume that right now, as the game of Dragon Age the Veilguard is in its final stretch, that all hands are going to be on deck to get that thing polished and out the door in the best possible condition that it can be. Which likely means that just at the moment, there probably isn't too many people at BioWare working on Mass Effect 5 every single day. but that doesn't mean there hasn't been substantial work done on the game already. On N7 Day in 2023, we were shown a teaser trailer of a brand new N7 character in the next Mass Effect game. It was confirmed by Mike Gamble, the game director for the next Mass Effect game, that all of this trailer was created in-engine for the next Mass Effect game. And obviously this isn't direct gameplay, this isn't something that we're likely to see exactly frame for frame in the game itself, but what it does show us is that they have a lot of assets already made for the next Mass Effect game, and in good quality as well. The objects, locations, and especially the characters that are seen in this trailer are all in-engine already, which means they likely have a head start on a lot of the assets for the next Mass Effect game, which is a really good step and a really good thing to see for the development process. And yes, it's no secret that next Mass Effect game is still in the pre-development process and likely will not go full steam ahead until Dragon Age the Veilguard is finally released fall 2024. But that being said, in a previous video I made about how 2024 is a critical year for BioWare and Mass Effect, link in the description below, I went over that I think the next Mass Effect game is likely to be released 2 to 3 years after the release of Dragon Age the Veilguard. And in that video, I predicted that Dragon Age the Veilguard would be released by the end of 2024, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen to make it exactly 10 years after the release of Dragon Age Inquisition. And then I think that same treatment is going to happen with the next Mass Effect game. In 2027, BioWare will be ready to release the next Mass Effect game 10 years after Mass Effect Andromeda, just like Dragon Age. So regarding all the wild speculation this week due to this Reddit post and the Mark Dara video, no, Mark Dara did not confirm that Mass Effect 5 is in true development. He didn't even mention it in his video. But does this mean that Mass Effect currently has a full team chugging away working at this game every single minute of every single day? No, they gotta get Dragon Age the Veilguard out the door, and then the next Mass Effect game can finally come home in likely a few years after the release of Dragon Age the Veilguard. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think of the current speculation of Mass Effect 5's development? When do you think the game is going to release? What do you want to see in the game? Let me know all your thoughts down below. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to this channel if you love Mass Effect and all things sci-fi gaming. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys.